Welcome back to CES 2014. I'm Lamore Schaffman here for RCR Wireless and the U2U Connect Show. I'm here with Shane Dyer of Arrayent. Thank you so much for joining us, Shane.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about Arrayent. What's going on? What are you guys? So how did it all start, actually?
So Arrayent is an Internet of Things platform company that helps service providers, manufacturers, and retailers build internet-connected systems. So basically, we help these guys get products there, and we also help connect these products together so they're compatible to build systems for service providers.
Okay, now, consider me a layperson. I need a little bit of a translation.
Let's take an example.
Let's take an example.
Okay. So an example of one of our customers here, this is Chamberlain's garage door opener. So this basically retrofits any garage door that's been there for the past 20 years and allows you to control it from your smartphone. Arrayent puts a little bit of software, connection software, inside the products themselves, and then we operate all the cloud services across US, Europe, Asia to power these products together. We also have platforms around mobile applications to help these companies build great mobile applications for these products as well.
So are you a systems integrator? Are you a designer and developer? Where do you fall within this range?
No. We're a technology platform provider. So we basically we believe that the Internet of Things platforms will be like Oracle. We think they're horizontal, they cut across multiple industries, and we think we're building the best one in the world.
But of course, and there are no competitors whatsoever.
Well, here's what's different about us. We really believe that the complexity in most of these systems is in the wrong place. Like if you look at Nest and thermostats like that, they're building big computers in people's homes. We really believe that the devices themselves should be very, very simple, and we should use a really cool technology called device virtualization, where we move the complexity from the devices themselves up to the cloud. So these basically have these agents that are providing these new areas for compatibility. And if you're a service provider, this basically gives you the ability to put together aggregate offers with lots of the brands that people love, but working together under a single app. And we think that that's huge.
So are you partnering with different brands? Are you bringing them in, or are they coming to you and saying, we want to use your system to develop a new product?
In many cases, those brands are already our customers. So we're helping them get their first connected products, but we're also helping get having these things, provide kind of, compatibility across these brands and aggregating them together for retailers and also for service providers.
So let's say I want to have a couple of these devices in my home. What do I need? Do I have to have some kind of little pod or something like that in my house that can connect all of the devices that you're offering, or what?
Well, as you know, there are lots of different LAN technologies for connecting these things in the home. There's Zigbee and Z-Wave and Wi-Fi, and we have to support all of them for these companies as well. So many of them have different, some are Wi-Fi, some are Z-Wave, some are Zigbee, things like that as well. But what we really provide is that compatibility layer up in the cloud, so it doesn't matter how they connect. They're all still going to work together very well in your mobile application.
And where are your products currently being sold? On your platform?
Oh, man, all over the place, right? So the products are being sold, like Chamberlain's garage door product is available in the Apple Store. How did a garage door manufacturer get in the Apple Store?
So how did it?
IoT is beautiful. IoT is beautiful. So that connecting to the mobile application is a very exciting story. And so you find them generally in the same channels you'd normally find them in hardware stores and things like that as well. First Alert, you can find some of the First Alert products online, and some Walmarts carry them as well for like internet-connected smoke and CO detectors. Whirlpool, the Whirlpool appliances are now all connected on the Arrayent platform as well. So you're starting to see all these companies making this transition, and we're the technology platform provider that's helping bring them together and also helping to create systems so that service providers in particular and retailers and the manufacturers can start getting all these products working together well.
So Whirlpool, for example, let's just say, they've come to you, they want to do this. Now, what brings them into this world of IoT? I know everyone's talking about it. It's been talked about for a long time. Is it really here? Two, is the consumer ready for it? And three, what is driving companies like Whirlpool towards this direction?
Yeah, so the first thing is the transition that the consumers made from no smartphone to I want the smartphone to control the things in my life was just absolutely incredible. And it left all these companies kind of behind. I don't want to use your clunky interface. I pick my interfaces, and they're my phone and my tablet. So I don't believe your product's going to be easy. I want to do it on my devices. So I think that really is a lot of things that a lot of people are catching up to. And in terms of the applications, things like thermostats, things like knowing whether I left my stove on when I left the house. These are all products with real emotional resonance. So I think when you hit that emotional piece for these products, it starts to become a must-have product, and it tips over. I mean, a thermostat now, if you're a thermostat company and you're not doing a connected thermostat, you're planning on exiting that industry.
That's completely correct. So now talk to me about your business model a little bit.
So we're basically we're a platform provider. So it's basically an enterprise SaaS play to these manufacturers, these retailers, and these service providers. So we offer them basically the Google-like infrastructure necessary to connect millions of devices and do it efficiently and do it in a way where the complexity is in the right place, which is up in the cloud.
So what would you say is the largest client you have that's connecting the most devices, just out of curiosity?
Oh, man, there's a lot of them that are kind of neck and neck. Who's doing particularly well? Well, you've seen the Chamberlain commercials all over TV. So they're doing incredibly well in this area. Like, if you want to know if Internet of Things has happened or not, talk to Chamberlain, and they'll tell you it's very much hit.
Trends going forward. What do you see happening coming down, in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I think the first one is compatibility. We tried for a long time to get compatibility around one LAN standard, and that's just not happening. There's too many different ways that products have to connect up there. So I think the compatibility in the cloud is one big trend that's coming this way, and we're betting big at Arrayent and putting the technology together to make these products work well together in the cloud.
Final question, the cloud aspect. Are you hosting yourself? Are you partnering with another company to manage the cloud services? How does that work?
So we co-locate. What we really find, though, is a lot of the cloud systems that are out there, like AWS for Amazon, aren't right for the Internet of Things. They're not reliable enough. They're not set up to be well for talking, hundreds of thousands and millions of devices connecting to it. So the Internet of Things is a really very different internet when you get up to scale. And I think that's a really wonderful part of the business that we're spending a lot of time on. The same way that Google thinks about how do we get cost per search down, we think about how we get cost per connection down. So you have to get deep on that technology stack in order to do that.
Okay. And so are you building your own servers, your own server farms? Is that what you're doing?
Servers themselves we don't build, but basically we operate out of co-location facilities.
Okay.
But the public clouds that are there are really the wrong tools for the job in terms of serious Internet of Things offerings.
So if a company wants to come to you and wants to think about moving in this direction, what are some things they need to have in place in order for you and them to be ready for each other?
Well, I think the first one is you really need to sit down together and figure out what your consumer use cases are. And then once you've figured out what they are, you can drive to the lowest cost, most easy and reliable way to deliver those. And I would say simplicity needs to be number one. We spend a lot of time taking steps out of processes and making things less complicated. If you're going to bring something into my home, you've got to make it really, really simple. And so I think that's one thing, the simplicity aspect would be the one thing I would drive through with them.
And you're always focused on the end consumer, ultimately. That is the key.
Yes, absolutely. If you lose them, then you make something that no one's going to use at the end of the day. So we really work with our customers as sort of a trusted advisor. We've connected over 36 of these products now. So we really have the experience to kind of bring them all the way through that experience.
Shane, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And thank you. We'll be right back.